Dear viewers, today we will learn about the structure of archaebacteria. This is general structure of archaebacteria. When we are talking about the phylogenetic relatedness, before 1970, it was thought that the archaebacteria is as similar as general prokaryotic eubacteria. But after 1977, according to Woose and Fox, it is included as domain of life in three-domain system of life along with eukaryota and general bacteria. So, archaea is included as domain along with bacteria and eukaryota. When we are talking about the general classification, we can see the archaebacteria is divided into Euryarchaeota and Cranarchaeota. The classification is based upon ribosomal RNA as well as some of the biochemical characteristics. Nowadays, two more phylum is getting included within this classification system. They are Chorarchaeota and Nanoarchaeota, but actually they are related to Cranarchaeota system. General characteristics of archaea, nature and general structural characteristics. When we are talking about the nature of the archaebacteria, they are usually extremophiles. That means they can withstand very high temperature, very low pH and so on. So, they are the heat lovers, salt lovers, methane making as well as acid loving organism. They can produce methane gas and they are usually the mutualistic and commensal organism. Though they are found in very extreme condition, but they can found everywhere on earth. They can even found in human colon also. As they are found in very extreme condition like volcanic vent, marshlands, hot springs, they are named as extremophiles. First, they were found in Yellowstone National Park in USA. When we are talking about general structural characteristics, it relates archaea with general prokaryotic bacteria as well as eukaryota. Let's talk about them. The first, we will discuss about the similarities as well as dissimilarities with prokaryotic general bacteria, that is the relatedness. First, let's talk about the structural similarity with general prokaryotic eubacteria. So, according to the size and shape, they are similar with general bacteria. Not only that, the organelles are membraneless, especially the nucleus. So, this similarity is the main one according to the structural features. And they lack periplasmic space as gram-positive bacteria except Ignicoccus. We can find here many more genetic makeup similarity along with prokaryotic bacteria because it has the operon-like gene arrangement. It has extrachromosomal plasmid DNA. Along with that, it has 70S ribosome. Those are similarities, especially the structural and genetic similarities along with the prokaryotic eubacteria. Let's talk about structural dissimilarities. The main structural dissimilarity lies inside the tRNA structure. In case of prokaryotic tRNA, especially the initiated tRNA is FMET tRNA, but here it is methionine tRNA. Here we cannot find periplasmic space and the spore formation is not yet found in case of archaebacteria, which is abundant in case of many of the prokaryotic eubacteria. Before going into the detail of the similarities with the eukaryota, let's talk about the functional similarity and dissimilarities with the prokaryotic eubacteria. The functional similarity includes the nitrogen fixation, denitrification, and the chemolithotrop. Other than this, according to the pathogenicity, it differs much more than prokaryotic eubacteria, because eubacteria are much more pathogenic, and these archaeans are very much adverse environment resistant organism. So they are named as extremophiles. Not that, they are also resistant to some of the antimicrobial drug, especially antibiotic like streptomycin as well as chloramphenicol. So according to the pathogenicity and antibiotic resistance, they are dissimilar with that of the general bacteria. Not only that, according to the nitrification character or the general nitrifying capacity, they having dissimilar characteristics according to function from general prokaryotic eubacteria. Let's talk about the relatedness with the eukaryota with respect to structural as well as functional similarities and dissimilarities. The structural similarities with eukaryota. It includes some of the basic characters. The transcriptional and the translational machineries are almost equal with that of the archaea with eukaryota. And DNA bounding histone-like protein is found here, that is absent in case of general prokaryotic bacteria but present in eukaryota. Here we can find only one RNA polymerase but resembling with RNA polymerase 2 of the eukaryota. And here we can also find the presence of Tata box-like promoter sequence. Not only that, here we can also find some sort of spliceosomal introns, especially in case of rRNA and tRNA genes. Structural dissimilarities with eukaryota. The first one is the shape. Archaeans are 1,000 times smaller than that of the eukaryota. Not only that, the chromosome is, in case of eukaryota, it is linear, but in case of archaea, it is circular. Apart from the chromosomal structure, we can find the presence of 5' capping as well as 3' polyadenylation. Both of them are also absent in case of archaea but present in case of eukaryotic cells. Let's talk about the functional similarities and dissimilarities with that of the archaea with eukaryota. The functional similarity lies in information processing, that is from DNA to RNA as well as RNA to protein making. And functional dissimilarities lies in case of the nutrition as well as energy generation. Let's talk about the general size and shape of archaea and special type of size and shape. General size and shape of archaebacteria, this is general archaebacterial size, which is compared with the eukaryotic cell. General size includes the length from 0.1 micrometer to 15 micrometer. But there are some cases when the archaebacteria are joined together to give the mat-like biofilm structure. Let's talk about those special type of sizes and shapes also. Here we can see in case of Thermococcus, which makes the biofilm. Here we can feel the 200 micrometer of biofilm structure. In case of Pyrodicticum, which indicates the presence of cannulae, which gives the bush-like agglomerations, right? So here also we can find multi-cell colony adhered together. In case of Thiodotrix, they actually are aligned as string of pearls. So except general size or shape, we can follow various other types of shapes in case of archaebacteria. General shapes includes general, bacilli, cocci as well as spirillum structure. This picture shows the general shapes of archaebacteria. The special shape includes various types of shapes like square flattened shape, rectangular shape, needle-like shapes, lobe type shapes, various kinds of other shapes are available in case of archaebacterial domain. Sulfolobus, lobe-shaped one. Thermophilum, filamentous, needle-like one. Thermoproteus, rectangular shaped. And square-shaped, Haloquadratum, web C. In case of Thermoplasma, no such cell wall boundary is over there. So that indicates various other types of shapes that is profound in case of archibacterial domain. Let's talk about unique cellular architecture in case of archibacteria. It includes cell envelope as well as genome organization. Let's first talk about the cell envelope structure. The cell envelope of archibacteria is usually having paracrystalline structure. It is actually the monolayer structure having O and N linked polysaccharide linked with the particular cell envelope layer. And cell envelope, when we are talking about the cell envelope, it includes cell membrane, cell wall as well as the flagella structure. The cell membrane of archibacteria according to structural composition differs very much from other domain of life because it has chirality of glycerol, ethyl linkage, isoprenoid chains, branching of side chains, monolayer of lipid and presence of hopanoid. This is the general structure of archaeal membrane having isoprene chains, L-glycerol and phosphate backbone. Let's first talk about the individual differentiation regarding the structural components. Chirality of the glycerol. Usually in other cell membrane we can find D-glycerol, but for the sake of enzyme present in archaeal system, here we can find L-glycerol. Ethyl linkage. Glycerol ester linkage is found in all other case, but here we can find the presence of glycerol ether linkage. Another exception. In case of other membrane, we can find the presence of fatty acid chains. But irrespective of fatty acid chain, we find here the presence of isoprenoid chain. And isoprenoid chains are branched at their side position. Isoprenoid chains are archaeal structure as well, which is very much specific in case of archibacteria. This isoprenoid chain has some sort of branching capacity. Two adjacent isoprenoid chains are fused together, joined together, so that it forms the monolayer structure, which is different from the bilayer structure. This is the branching of side chain. This is the scheme how they are fused together to form the single component. So, I have already told you that in this way, two chains are fused together and in spite of lipid bilayer structure, it makes monolayer of the lipid. So, this is the picture. So, presence of phytanyl derivative also helps to make this joint conjugated structure. Now, let's see why this sort of thing happens. We have already told you that these archaea are extremophiles. So, they have to withstand very high temperature as well as lowering of pH. So, this sort of monolayer structure renders the tensile strength and helps them to withstand any sort of chemical components, the adverse situation present in the environment. So, that's why they have this sort of cell membrane makeup. The sterols which are found here is called hopanoid. We have to remember the isoprenoid chains are fused to form the carbon ring structure. They are similar as cholesterol in eukaryotic cell. So, when they are intercalating within the cellular membrane, they keeps the fluidity of the membrane and they helps to maintain the rigidity of the membrane as well. So, in this way, this sort of makeup have in case of archibacteria. As usual, the function of membrane is the transport of material. By the invagination of the cellular membrane and endocytosis, it helps in case of nutrition. For the sake of nutrition, the archaea are colonized together to perform such a nutritional habit. According to the cell wall component, there are 4 types of cell wall categories here. Number 1, pseudomurin, that is abundant in case of Methanobacterium species. The sulfated polysaccharides are found in case of Halococcus species. The negatively charged glycoproteins are found in Halobacterium species and S layer is found in case of Methanomicrobium species. Let's first talk about the first one, that is pseudomurin or pseudopeptidoglycan layer. Pseudomurin structure. In case of pseudomurin structure, which is a different structure from general peptidoglycan layer, we can find here the cross-linking in between N-acetyl osaminouric acid and N-acetyl glucosamine. And here we can find the presence of beta 1,3 linkage, which is different from beta 1,4 linkage. And here we can also find the presence of L amino acids, not D amino acids. So in this way, again, the pseudomurin structure gives a different type of cellular structure, mainly the cell wall structure, that helps archaebacteria to withstand very adverse environment. Here we have already told you the S layer is there. So S layer is some sort of paracrystalline structure, and we can see the presence of S layer in case of some Halobacterium species as well as Methanomicrobium species, and it is attached to some of the glycoprotein which are O-linked as well as N-linked. Apart from these two, the sulfated sugars are found in case of Halococcus, and some of the negatively charged glycoproteins are found in case of Halobacterium. Why negatively charged? Because Halobacterium are the halophile, salt-loving organism. So they have to withstand hypersaline situation. All are positively charged. To withstand those positively charged condition, the negatively charged outer layer is there in case of Halobacterium. Archaeal flagella. Archaeal flagella more or less similar with the prokaryotic general eubacteria, and they are needed for the bacterial motility. So this is the general structure of archaeal flagella. Usually archaeal flagella are lophotrechous, they are protruded from one side of the cell, and they are needed for the thermotaxis towards the very higher temperature, which is very unusual. But the ancestor of this flagella is different from the common bacterial ancestor, because in case of general bacteria, they are type 3 secretion system associated, but it is associated with bacterial type 4 pili system. So according to the ancestor level, these two flagella are differentiated, but according to function, they are more or less similar. The genome organization of archaea. Let's see the picture. So this is the picture of bacterial or archaeal chromosome. So bacterial and archaeal chromosome is circular, right? And the base pair ranges from 57 lakh to 5 lakh. The 57 lakh is found in case of some microarchaeum, especially in case of microsarcina also, and this 5 lakh base pair is found in very tiny dot-like nanoarchaeum. And we have already told you that it is circular like other prokaryotic bacteria and not linear like eukaryota. We can find so much diversity here because here we can find operon-like genetic arrangement of the genes, structural as well as functional together, like prokaryotic eubacteria. But we can find the presence of spliceosomal introns in case of tRNA and rRNA genes, which are similar in case of eukaryota. And also the RNA polymerase resembles to RNA polymerase 2 of the eukaryota, and the Tata box promoter sequence is also similar. Not only that, there are so many other facts related to information process as well as transcriptional and translational machinery which resembles archaebacteria with general eukaryota. Specialized structure that is present in case of archaebacteria spatially. It includes cannulae, hemi, pili, bindosome, replicons as well as bacteriorhodopsin. Let's talk about them individually. Cannulae. Cannulae is specially found in case of Pyrodicticum species of archaebacteria. They are some sort of hollow tube-like appendages associated with cell surface, right? The hollow tube is made by 3 subunits of glycoprotein. They are similar at their N-terminal ends but differentiates according to its the molecular mass contains. They may be 22 kilodalton, 23 kilodalton or 24 kilodalton. But these hollow tube-like appendages help the cell to adhere together to form the biofilm structure or giant cell multicell colony-like structure. They actually help in case of communication and nutrition purpose with other neighboring cells. Next, it is again a macroscopic bush-like structure which is called hemi, very recently found by research in case of Archaebacteria. And these hemi is responsible for string of pearls in case of Thyrotryx bacteria or Thyrotryx archaebacteria. Pili. Usually pili is found in case of some sulfolobus archaea, which is associated or tethered with the cell surface, and pili as usual is needed for the bacterial or archaeal conjugation. Here we have to say that this sort of archaea is habituated by asexual reproduction, not by mitosis or any other processes. Bindosome. This is again found in case of some sulfolobus bacteria. In case of sulfate association or sulfur accumulation, this sort of bindosome structure is very much needed. They are the cell protrusion associated with cellular surface. Replicons. So, replicons are some sort of plasmid having replication origin apart from circular chromosomal DNA. Bacteriorhodopsin. In case of some Halobacterium species, a particular pigment is found needed for photophosphorylation for ATP generation, and it has some protein component as well as organic component named as retinal. It has absorption at UV range as well as visible 570 nanometer range. Let's see the picture. So, it shows the absorption at wavelength near about the UV range as well as 570 nanometer. In conclusion, we can say we have talked about nature and habitat of the Archaebacteria, phylogenetic relatedness as well as domain, the structural and functional similarities, dissimilarities, relatedness with other two domains, that means bacteria and eukaryota. We have talked about special components in the cell membrane as well as cell wall structure which helps them to be the extremophiles. As well as they are the methane producer which are very much needed for the biogas production in industrial purpose, which also makes a similarity with other prokaryotic bacteria because they are also needed for the industrial purpose for food processing and many other processes. We have talked about various types of spatial structure including cannulae, pili, bindosome as well as Bacteriorhodopsin. So, this is all about Archaebacteria by which it relates itself with general bacteria as well as eukaryota. Thank you very much.